There we go. And we're recording. So, hi, Justin.
Okay. Hi. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good afternoon.
So, what is our topic today?
Our topic today is going to be restaurants right now. We're going to, first off, let me lay out the ground rules. We're going to try to not say the C word at all. I'm tired of it. I'm sure you guys are tired of it. I'm sure everybody listening is tired of it. So we're not going to say the C word. We're going to make it through the show without saying the C word.
All
Anyway,
right.
I want to talk about what restaurants are doing right now, and it's an insane time to be a restaurateur, and we have restaurants trying anything and everything right now. They're helping each other out. They're helping the community out. They're trying to survive. They're trying to keep their, and we have one joining us that literally just opened in the middle of this, which is probably the craziest thing I could think of, but it is what it is. You made the plans and then this happened. So I kind of figured that it'd be kind of fun to talk just about what's happening right now with the restaurants and see what everybody's trying to do.
All right, so
at least two with us and maybe one or two more after this.
So who do we have so I can make sure I've got their names? Chris, spell your last name for me just so I make sure I have it right.
Sure, Daniels, Daniels.
All right, and you're with 0 to 60 Energy Cafe.
That's right.
All right. And Emma, all I know is your name is Emma.
Yeah, and my last name is Alberto.
And are you with 0 to 60 as well?
No, I'm with Grub to Go. We just opened on Gerard Street.
Ah, that's what Justin meant. I was going to say, because Sweet Nola's has been open for a while, and I know you said she might join us at some point. I'm thinking, wait a minute.
Cheryl might join us, yes.
Awesome. Well, what we typically do is we record 2 10, 12-minute long segments. Justin and I do kind of like an intro, and then I'm kind of going to let you take the lead because you know what topics you want to cover and what you want to talk about, and I may say the C word. So okay. I'll let you take the lead. So if you say it, it's not my fault.
We'll do our best not to.
All right. Well, you want to go ahead and start recording the first segment?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Let's pop right on in there.
Hello and welcome to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. I mentioned when I signed off of the show yesterday with, I think it was, I don't remember her name, so I'm just going to back that out and edit all of that out. I mentioned when I signed off the show yesterday that it was going to be Tourism Tuesday today, but when I recorded the show you heard yesterday, it was Friday afternoon. And I joked that I had no idea what Justin had in store for me when we were going to air the show today. And I still kind of don't have any idea what we're going to do. We are recording today's
Sometimes
show.
we're on the fly.
Yeah, we're recording today's show via Zoom. It is Monday afternoon, so it has been recorded in advance. But Justin, Tourism Tuesday, tourism's kind of a fluid word these days.
It is. We have no idea what's going on. To be absolutely 100% completely honest. We don't know what's going on. Nobody does. Everybody's kind of guesswork right now, and we're being as optimistic as we can and realistic as we can all at the same time, and just keeping incredibly busy. And we have, and again, I'm going to say this on the show, the goal is not to say the C word today. We're going to get away. We're not going to say the C. You're not either. You're not going to say the C word. I think everybody's heard it enough, saturated the airwaves at this point. So we're going to try to just kind of talk about what's going on and what's coming and what we're trying to do right now. So I figured, the restaurants, the tourism industry was one of the first things hit. And we all felt it immediately. Our hotels and our restaurants, our events, everybody felt it really fast and really hard. And our hope is that we will also be one of the first industries to rebound. It depends on where you are. Winchester lines up very well with what the industry projections are for one of the first type destinations to rebound, which within 1 to 3 hours of people. So people don't want to travel far. They want to have small towns, beautiful outdoor settings, which we check those off, and they want affordable destinations. So again, that's us as well. So we are positioned very well to come out of this quickly and actually lead the charge back up out of this. So that's kind of the hopes. But that doesn't help our restaurants, not right now very much, because they are trying to survive. They're in survival mode. And we have a lot of restaurants. We have over 200 restaurants here in the Winchester, Frederick County area. And everybody is trying to pivot. And some people have just gone dark. They've decided I want to stay dark. I want to stay closed. And others are staying open and trying to pivot and do the best they can and shift from one type of service to another type of service. And then we have some crazy ones who are opening in the middle of this. So we figured we would get kind of a blend today a little bit and kind of talk about that and hear from the restaurateurs what it's like, what they're trying to do, and how they're kind of surviving right now, how they're helping the community out, helping each other out, and then moving forward, how they plan to come out of this. So we have at least two guests with us today. We might have someone else pop in later.
That's the beauty of Zoom. You never know.
It is the beauty of Zoom, yes. So I guess, Chris, we can start with you. Who are you and why are you here?
Yeah, who are you and why are you here?
Good question. Chris Daniels, and I own 0 to 60 Energy Cafe.
And you used to have 2 locations, and then you've had a double whammy because you had one of your locations rather unwillingly closed because it was right next to the gym that closed. And so you had 2 locations. Now you went down to 1 very quickly. Actually, you had 3 because you had one in the mall. The mall closed, the gym closed, and so now you went from 3 to 1. So now everything is kind of concentrated on your Valley Ave. And so you guys do all sorts of stuff, not just coffee.
Right. Yeah. Until the mall reopens, we are very focused on our Valley Avenue location. And you're right. We do a variety of different things, not just coffee, but smoothies. We're also known for our grilled cheese sandwiches. We do amazing wraps and a lot of other foods as well.
And you do ice cream.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We do ice cream and Italian ice.
As the warm weather rolls in. Actually, this coming weekend is supposed to be beautiful. So
it is. I've heard that, and I'm looking forward to that. So that'll help.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Okay, Chris. So I'm going to ask you, what is the difference between ice cream and Italian ice?
So ice cream's got typically dairy products in it, and Italian ice does not. That's the primary difference.
So ice, they're like snow cones.
Somewhat, except the texture is closer to ice cream, I would say, than what it is to a snow cone, which has larger crystals that are crunchy in it. But you get a variety of flavors like you do with the snow cones.
So how has it been? Have you seen an increase in business? Have you seen a decrease? I mean, what does an average day look like for you now?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, an average day is very close to what it was last year, and we carefully track our success from year to year for each location. And for the Valley Avenue location, we're close to where we were last year at this point, maybe a little lower. For a while, we were significantly lower, but people have really warmed up to the concept of ordering things to pick up or takeout, delivery, whatever. And so, what I've seen is a shift, obviously, in the amount of business from people walking into the restaurant or even walking up for pickup to a greater percentage of delivery orders.
And you didn't offer delivery before all of this started. You were primarily pickup or come get it there at your pickup window.
Well, that's an interesting question because basically the restaurant industry in this area was disrupted about a year ago. And what happened was that some of these major delivery services such as DoorDash and Uber Eats came into the area. So prior to March of last year, if you wanted delivery, you were primarily looking at Chinese food or Italian food, pizzas and things like that in the Winchester area. And I would say throughout the Shenandoah Valley. But around March is when Uber Eats and DoorDash came into this market, and we were early adopters of those delivery services. And so, this situation that we all find ourselves in now has just kind of pushed forward, I think, a trend that was already happening and has just increased the pace with which it is happening, and that is people ordering more food for delivery.
And that's probably really good for you, Emma, because Emma Alberto is also on the screen with us, and she has Grub to Go. So tell me about Grub to Go.
Okay, so we actually, I'm trying to think, this Monday makes 2 weeks that we've been open.
You're a brave woman, brave woman.
Yeah, I know. And my husband and I, we own it. We talked about it a lot when this was first happening because we were already on track to open. So we were like, okay. So we kind of, when this happened, we're like, at first, maybe we shouldn't, what should we do? And we're like, you know what? We're already so perfect for this situation because all we really do offer is pickup and delivery. So we just decided to go ahead and just make it work. And so far it's been going great. The only thing that we've been doing different that we won't do after this is we've been shutting off the inside completely. So we have just been telling people, if you want to pick it up, you can come through the window. We'll do delivery, free delivery for now. And so that's really the only thing that we're going to do different when this is over, allow people to come inside.
So tell me about your menu.
Our menu, like Chris said, we actually have grilled cheese too, but ours comes as burger buns. So it's like a fun twist on a grilled cheese. We do a lot of fun burgers. We have mac and cheese burgers. We do a lot of crazy loaded tater tots. We have peanut butter and jelly wings. So we're doing lots of crazy fun things, trying to bring something a little fresh, fun to the area.
And where are you located?
We are at 14 East Girard Street. And
what was the restaurant that used to be in there? I can't remember the name of it.
Rico's.
Rico's, yes, there you go.
Now I know exactly where you are.
Yes.
And it seems like Enrico's was such a beloved place in this community. I've heard such great things about them. Everyone says, oh, Enrico's. So we're hoping we can bring back some fun to that.
Yeah, no offense, but every time I drive by there, my husband and I both just kind of sigh and say, man, we miss Enrico's. And
everyone.
Yeah, because we're Winchester natives. So we were Enrico fans from way back. I will say, though, that building actually burned. It caught on fire and burned several years ago. And Enrico's came back after the fire, but it wasn't really the same. So it's kind of a fresh start for you there anyway.
Yep, that's what we're trying to do. Just bring something totally different and fun. We still have cheesesteaks. So there are some things maybe people can come and kind of get a little bit of the same.
So Justin, are you seeing from restaurants across the board in Winchester and Frederick County that those that have stayed open are taking advantage of curbside, of takeout? Of
everybody, yes. Yeah. And the big challenge, I think the big differentiator, I should say, between the restaurants that are really doing really good right now and the ones that are kind of having a hard time are the ones that already have the takeout as built in as part of what they did. So the takeout, the delivery, the built in as part of what they did. That's what you expect from them. That's the type of food and the experience you expect. It's the ones that really relied on an experiential type dining experience that are having a harder time because you pay for an ambiance with that type of, and you can imagine those types of restaurants. You pay that extra premium to have that ambiance, and it's not the same when it comes in a styrofoam container. So it's harder for them. Not that they aren't working really hard to try to do things, and they are doing creative things, and that's hoping Cheryl would be able to pop on here. Sweet Nola's is doing some fun stuff where you can get the food and then you can get the takeout food and take it home, and then they have Facebook streaming of music that they do. So you can eat your Sweet Nola's at home and get your music that you would normally get there anyway. So they're doing some kind of fun stuff that they're trying to kind of mix it up and still bring that experience to you, even though it has to be out of a styrofoam container. They're still trying to kind of do some cool stuff. So, yeah, that's what we're seeing. I mean, people still have to eat, and you can only bake so much. And, people are dying. They gotta have some sort of an experience. So, yeah, people are definitely going out and getting and like the Chamber of Commerce, our Tupper Virginia Chamber of Commerce, they've done a really good job. They've got a Facebook page set up where local restaurants, you do not have to be a member of the chamber to post on there. Local restaurants just go on and post and their specials and all of that. So that's a really good way. That's a really good kind of platform for you to be able to go as a consumer to go and check that and see what specials are coming out and what's popping up. And the Wink Eats, or Wink Food, winkfood.com is doing a really good job too. And they've got a really good comprehensive list of which restaurants are open and doing carry out and all that sort of thing. So we have some resources in place in the community where people can find and good ideas. If you're in a rut, you know, where you can get ideas of what you want to kind of eat and try something new right now.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more with Emma and with Chris, and maybe during the break, Sweet Nola's will join us. Maybe we'll get lucky and she'll be able to join us. So let's take a break. I do want to remind anyone who's listening that we are doing the show today. We are recording it today over Zoom and the video, so you can watch what we're about to discuss during the break and some of the pre-show chatter on our YouTube channel at The River. All you have to do is click on the Valley Today playlist, and I'll put the link to the show up with the show notes on the show notes page. But we'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we will continue this conversation with Justin Kerns from the Winchester Frederick County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Emma Alberto from Grub to Go, and Chris Daniels from 0 to 60 Energy Cafe in just a couple of minutes. Okay.
Cool. All right. We're still kind of recording though.
Yes. Yeah. So you still have to keep it clean.
Yes.
Well, you don't, but you run the risk.
Right. You run the risk. It's funny. I've got my cat like right here. You can't tell. It looks like I'm up on the Eagle Rock up here, but I'm not. My cat's walking around.
It looks like you're up on the drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, doesn't it? No, this is here. This is Frederick County. This is right here, Frederick County.
Oh.
This is Eagle Rock on the Tuscarora Trail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's outside, so I have no idea where that is.
It's not that far. It's just nice. Very nice.
Unless there's a coffee shop there. I got no clue what you're talking about.
That's funny. Chris keeps popping in. Are you still there, Chris?
Yeah, I am here. I had to turn off my video, so I had to get my phone charger. So that's what that's all about.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. I just want to make sure
Did you
you're
hear
still
me?
there. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. You were breaking in and out a little bit. So I figure, okay, on the second segment, we can talk about kind of what you guys are doing in the community to help out the community. I know you guys are trying to help out. A lot of restaurants are trying to help out in the community and donate things here and there and have ideas to help the community, while at the same time you're trying to survive. You're also still helping the community, which is kind of a double whammy there. And then anything else you guys want to talk about?
And I want to make sure we talk at least a minute or two about your delivery areas, just because since we're on the radio and the station itself is most of the Shenandoah Valley, to kind of give everybody an idea. Do you, for example, just deliver within Winchester city limits? Are you going to Stevens City, even to Middletown? We don't really have to include Front Royal, but just kind of where within Winchester, Frederick County is your delivery area?
Okay.
And then you both have easy pickup options too, right? It's because I've been to both of you.
Definitely. Ours is the window, so it's
And do you have online ordering options, a website, an app, or any of that kind of stuff? I know, Chris, you are affiliated with some of the delivery services, so you can probably order through them, right?
That's right. And then we use Clusive as well as our own app. So Clusive is an app that was created specifically for independent coffee owners.
I love it.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're inclusive, as is Bro Bears locally, and Cordial Coffee in Berryville just recently joined them as well.
And that's how I found it. Brandon was on the show last Tuesday with me for TakeOut Tuesday, which is what I dubbed last week's tourism show. And he talked about the Clusive. And then I went to Berryville on Saturday and used it as I left my house in Middletown and ordered my drink and pulled into the parking lot, had it handed to me through my door. So nice. I'm all about a coffee shop app.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, we don't currently have anything online because we kind of just rush to be able to be open. And so I have so many people sending me Facebook messages. Can I see a menu? Can I see a menu? Like, we don't have our website up yet. We do have online ordering coming, but with everything, it's just kind of, we're still waiting on that to be.
Are you posting things on your website? I mean, do you have like an image or a list of your menu on Facebook?
Yes, Facebook, everything. That's why like ours is kind of, I mean, we haven't been super slow, but it has definitely been a slow start because the only advertising I've really done is on Facebook. And so that's kind of where we're at right now with everything.
Okay.
Well, your pictures look fantastic.
Thank
The
you.
picture looks so good. Oh my God.
Awesome, actually, because we actually talked about hiring a photographer, and I was like, no, just let me try. Let me see. I can take some cool pictures. And we actually did get some cool shots of stuff. So it's been fun to do that.
And food pictures are hard. They're a lot harder than people think they are. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them just don't look great. I'm like, nope.
I had a client that owned a coffee shop over in Front Royal, and he took dreadful food photos.
Yeah.
So, but he said, but you keep telling me I have to take pictures of our lunch specials and stuff. So I finally convinced him that instead of taking pictures of the food, to take a picture of an empty plate with the crumbs in the fork. Because he couldn't screw that up.
Oh my God.
He could use that as the picture and say, wow, we tried to get a picture of our lunch special today, but it was so good. Everybody ate it too fast.
Yeah.
And
that's probably better than a bad food picture.
oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to make them look greasy or just, it's really easy. And soup, it's hard to make a good picture of soup. Soup looks weird.
Well, and hot dogs. That's the other thing. He carried hot dogs. And how do you take a good picture of a hot dog?
Yeah, we have hot dogs too. And I don't think I've taken one picture of a hot dog yet.
So he would do the ones, because, when you have a hot dog, there's always that one bite of the bun that's left. Because the hot dog is never as big as the bun. Ever. So he would leave the one little chunk of bun on the plate, and that was the picture that we would do. So there's my free marketing tip for you today.
Perfect. I have to try that out. Oh my gosh.
All right. So you want to come back and we'll do, I don't see anybody has tried to come back in, Justin. So I think we're out of luck with Sweet Nola's.
She is stuck on a phone call. She was hoping she would be able to come back, but it looks like she's stuck on the phone call.
Okay. All right. Well, we will knock out the next segment and then we'll be done. How about that?
All right.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday. On the screen today, we are actually recording it on a Monday afternoon. Justin Kerns is on the screen with me. We are recording via Zoom for our episode today, and it's kind of Takeout Tuesday because we're talking with some of the local restaurant owners. Emma Alberto is here with us. She is with Grub to Go, a newly opened restaurant in Old Town Winchester, along with Chris Daniels. He is the owner of 0 to 60 Energy Cafe. They are located, of course, on Valley Avenue. And Justin, I think everybody, you said something about this when we went to break, that everybody still has to eat. And I think right now, everybody, especially now, is so tired of eating whatever's in our cupboards, or we can't get what we need at the grocery store to fix it at home ourselves. So eating out is kind of the new in.
Yeah, and we've been trying, we've been working really hard, just my family. Like we have been trying to go to places. We've been trying to eat out more than we normally do. Actually, ever since the lockdown, we've been eating out more. We've been going to restaurants more. I should not going to restaurants, eating restaurant food more than we were before, just to try to help support the local restaurants as much as we possibly can. Honestly, we've been going out more, and people, you need something, you need some sort of variety. So might as well make it some food,
So Chris, speaking of, Justin mentioned support. So speaking of support, I know a lot of the local restaurants are also trying to support the community, in addition to us trying to support you by eating out a little bit more than maybe we would have normally. What are you guys doing at 0 to 60 Energy Cafe?
Well, early on, I put a feeler out on Facebook about, what was going on in the community as far as where were they really having difficulties finding certain types of food and other items, because obviously as a restaurant, I have access to wholesale distributors and things like that the general public doesn't have. And I got an overwhelming response. I think upwards of 700 people respond to that Facebook post. So it became very clear to me early on that unless I wanted a line outside the building like Costco, that I wasn't going to be able to meet that level of demand and need in the community. And so, it occurred to me, as Justin said earlier, the fact of the matter is that the area restaurants are providing an important community service right now, because as bad as the shortages are in the local grocery stores, and as bad as the lines are and all that, they'd be much worse without the restaurants that did decide to remain open during this crisis. And so, that was a commitment that we made. We were going to stay open, and our employees were solidly behind us on that. So our focus has been more on our employees and treating them right, because, much like the people who are working at some of the grocery stores and stuff, there is a certain level of risk that they're taking by serving the public right now. And so, obviously we've done everything we can to make sure that they can serve safely. But, we've also done other nice things for them, bonuses and, allowing them to eat free. Generally speaking, they get a significant discount, but we allow them to eat free now. So we've done a lot more around supporting them and their families and saying to them, listen, if you have any needs in your family, can't get eggs, can't get toilet paper, whatever it is, let me know, and I will do what I can to help you out with that.
And I think that's important from an employer perspective. And you touched on it too, that I think sometimes we all as a general public forget that first line responders look differently to different people. And while normally we think of these first line workers as our firefighters, our police officers, our healthcare workers, they are still the grocery store workers, the people that are working in food service, so that we can still have dinner, have lunch, have breakfast, and have some of those things that aren't really amenities anymore. In some cases, it's the only access that we have. So we should be grateful that you're able to keep your employees safe and keep them available to us to serve the community.
Yes.
So how about you, Emma? What do you have going on over at Grub to Go?
Well, all the things that Chris and I know lots of other restaurants have been doing are amazing. And I know, I speak for my husband and I, there's lots of things that we want to be able to do and that we're starting to try and do. Right now, things that have come to our attention, whatever we find or see that we can do, like the feeding the homeless, we give the food. Charles Headley, I think is his name, and they come around in a truck, and we've been doing cold sandwiches, hot dogs, whatever we can give, things like that. Definitely taking care of our employees, making sure that they're okay, and just trying to, if somebody, we've had people, if they can't come in, that's fine, stay home, if whatever. But yeah, a lot of the things like that, whatever people are bringing to us, we're going to definitely try and implement, and giving people discounts if people can't pay for things, definitely in the future, I think we'll be able to do a little more. It's hard for us because we just opened, so we don't have as many resources. We don't know what to do. So just being completely honest, there's definitely things that we could do more, but whenever it's coming to our attention, we're definitely trying to start that or do those things.
And I think the biggest thing right now that both of you are doing that is a huge help to the community is the delivery piece of it, because so many people can't or really don't feel comfortable leaving their houses. And because of that, they shouldn't be allowed, they shouldn't have to not have something different for dinner. So the fact that you're both offering delivery, I think is a huge community service.
Yeah, and that was definitely one of the things that we really wanted to be able to do was the free contactless delivery. And every time we take a phone call for delivery, we're making sure to say, if you don't want to have to, sign the slip, touch the food, whatever you want, I'll put it in the instructions. We'll put the tip on there for you so that you don't even have to sign, do anything. So yeah, all of those things, because we definitely understand that people want food, but they don't want to have that contact. Yeah.
So what is your delivery area, Emma? How far out are you delivering for Grub to Go?
Basically, what we decided was that we're going to do a 10-mile radius from our restaurant. So I know, I didn't grow up here, so I'm not super familiar with it, but I know that it goes into Stevens City. I'm not sure if it covers all of Stevens City, but I know it goes, I don't know if it goes into Berryville or how far all these areas go, but we do 10 miles.
And it's easy enough. Just type your place into Google Maps and see how far Google says you are. I do that for everything all the time.
I'm like, let me look, give me your address. I'll look it up on the phone and tell you. And even if it's a little further, sometimes we've been doing that. And, whatever we can do to help. But yeah, 10 miles is what we decided to go with. Hello. This is my nephew.
I've got mine downstairs. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to order something from Grub to Go, do they call you? Do you have a list of your menu items, say, on your Facebook page? How do they start that process to place an order?
Yeah, basically right now to call us, or they can come to the drive-through window. We are taking orders through the drive-through window. We have our menu up on Facebook. We're actually in the process of getting new menus this week because as we rush to open, there's things that we found on our menus. So we're trying to get that taken care of really quickly. So all of that will be coming in the next 2 weeks. We'll have a website, we'll have online ordering. We're going to have a whole new, not a whole new menu, but a new menu. So right now, yeah, our Facebook page and like the social media is the best way to find us and send a message to us. Any messages, I answer them pretty quickly, and we do have our menu up there.
And what are your hours?
We are open every day from 11 to 10.
Oh, well, that makes it easy.
Yeah,
It makes for a long day, but it makes it easy.
It is. It's been very long, yeah. But
so how about you, Chris? What kind of delivery area are you looking at for people that want to order something from 0 to 60 Energy Cafe?
Yeah, we use DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, and I think that their delivery area is approximately 10 miles around our location as well. So basically, wherever they're delivering to, we're delivering to. And then we do have an app. It's called Cloosiv, Cloosiv. It's for local coffee shops. The other thing that we've done to help people out a little bit is that we'll now do curbside takeout for them. So Cloosiv has a feature that enables the customer to press a button that says, I've arrived. And so all they have to do is pull up outside and push that button. Everything they pay for is paid for and ordered through Cloosiv. And so we get that order and then we literally just walk it out to their car to them. So our location at 2430 Valley Avenue is really set up for this type of delivery and pickup service. There's 4 sliding windows in the front of the building. So us closing our dining area wasn't that hard of a thing for us to do, really.
And what are your hours?
So our hours are on our website, which is just the name of our company, 0-60energycafe.com, as is our full menu. We're open now 9 to 7, Monday through Friday, 8 to 7, Monday through Friday, and 9 to 6:30 on Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Since we do Italian ice and soft serve ice cream as well, our hours do gradually increase as we go into the summer, and eventually we'll be open until 10 o'clock at night again.
Nice, because that 9:30 craving for ice cream happens a lot more when it's 70, 80 degrees outside.
Yes, for sure.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It is coming.
So how about you, Justin? What are you, you don't really have anything to bring to the restaurant table, but I'll let you talk for a minute or two before we wrap up the show.
Well, two things I want to mention just as a consumer, and then from response to things I'm hearing in the community. First off, these tipped employees aren't getting their tips right now because they're not serving tables. So I have, just as a consumer, I don't normally tip for takeout because it's takeout. You tip when you go in and sit down, or I tip a little tiny bit. But now I'm trying to tip full when I do takeout. I know it's a little bit higher, but the staff don't have any other opportunities to get those tips. So I am tipping, my full 18, 20% now on takeout. So I think it's something people just don't even think about. But these employees don't have any other way to get those tips anymore. And then another thing, I know a lot of people are talking online about buying gift certificates and supporting the hospital workers, all those folks. And I hear, name chains all the time. And whenever I see that, I pop in and I'm like, oh, that's great. But we also have these wonderful local, coffee shops and restaurants where if you want to get, the Bro Bears and 0 to 60 and Hopscotch, everybody, they all have gift cards, and you can do the gift cards, and you can give those gift cards to those frontline hospital employees, and also food too. You can order food to go. You can get them gift certificates. Do you guys Grub to go? Do you guys do gift certificates yet?
I was actually just writing that down. That's what, like I was telling you,
writing,
it's so new. As we go, we're just like, okay, we need to, So yeah, that's a great idea. All these things everybody's doing is amazing.
But yeah, so when you think about that, as someone in the community, if you're thinking about, hey, I really want to support the people who are working at the hospitals, think about, you can kind of knock out two birds with one stone. You can help a local business, you can help a local restaurant, and support those frontline employees at the same time by, thinking of the local restaurants when you buy those gift cards and that coffee.
And I've been two things for that. So I've been doing that. I've been buying from my regular places that I would normally go that I can't go to right now. I've bought a couple of online gift certificates for the first time. And I saw this on Twitter when I went through the grocery line at Martin's a couple of weeks ago. The last time I actually set foot inside of a grocery store, I picked up one of the Martin's gift cards and then I gave it to the cashier. After I paid for it, I gave it back to them because, again, we forget that sometimes they're also frontline workers. So that's a quick tip. And then when you were speaking about tips, Victoria was on the show a couple of weeks ago from Hideaway Cafe, and she has undertaken a project called serviceindustry.tips. And you can actually go to that website, and she has tried to gather as many of the employees that work in the service industry, whether it's servers at restaurants, it's nail technicians, it's hair salons, massage therapists, anybody that would normally work for tips that can't work right now. She has gotten them into this app. And you go to serviceindustry.tips and you scroll down and you find Winchester, and then it pops up like a server roulette, and it'll say, here is Emma's name and she's a server at XYZ restaurant, and you can tip her right now via Venmo or Cash App, and they get that money immediately. So every time we fix dinner here at home, I tip a service worker from any number of the different restaurants in and around Winchester, which is just kind of a nice way to say, I know you're not working right now, but if I could have gone out to dinner tonight, you would have gotten my tip. So here it is anyway.
Nice. Yes, I saw she was doing that too. She's super engaged. In the community. So yeah, and they're doing like coffee bonds or something, restaurant bonds. Very interesting.
Yeah, they're doing all kinds of cool stuff. And that's the thing that I would encourage a lot of people is go do some research. Go look and see what some of these companies and some of these places are doing, because the creativity has really stepped up above and beyond. Chris, I think what you're doing to make sure that your staff and your employees are safe and that they're healthy and that they're cared for is phenomenal. And the best way to support you supporting them is to come get a coffee, get an ice cream, get a grilled cheese sandwich. So that's the easiest way that all of us can participate right now, I think.
Right.
So Justin, anything else before we wrap up today's episode?
No, that's mostly it. Just, keep going out there if you can, if you're comfortable, or have it delivered to you. But, think about that when you're supporting your community. They're here for us. These are our neighbors. These are the people who we really, really desperately want to still be here. And we want these restaurants to desperately still be around when we all come out of this. So in order to do that, we need to keep supporting them now. So.
Fantastic. And I will say, since I'm about to do the final wrap up, that we got through the whole show, both segments, no C word. Good job.
We did it.
I think it was just implanting it in our brain is what it was.
Yes.
Well, we are going to wrap up today's episode of Tourism Tuesday. We have been chatting with Justin Kerns from the Winchester Frederick County Convention and Visitors Bureau. On the screen with us via Zoom was Emma Alberto. She is the owner of Grub to Go. You can find them on Facebook and order from them that way. Also with us today was Chris Daniels. He is the owner of 0 to 60 Energy Cafe, and you can find his website 0-60energycafe.com and order. And DoorDash or any of those great delivery services will bring it right to your front porch as well. Tomorrow on the show is Patrick Barker. It's the Valley Business Today. Nice. Patrick Barker is coming to have a conversation with me from the Frederick County Economic Development Authority. So meet me back here a few minutes after noon, and I will have that show geared up and ready to go for you.
Okay.
Ta-da!
And that's how you do it.
And that's how you do it.
There you go.
Look, we have a little movie.
We have
star.
A cameo. Yes.
Say hi.
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 Him and his
Awesome.
restaurant too in Clearbrook.
Ah,
Yeah, Taste Buds.
Oh, is that you? Oh, okay.
That's us too. It's my husband. This is my husband's sister. They own it together. We all, yeah.
so where is it at? Where in Clearbrook?
It's exit 323.
Right in front of the Amazon building.
Yes, right in front of the new Amazon building.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I grew up in Clearbrook, so I was thinking, wait a minute.
Oh yeah,
where-
we just opened about 3 years ago out there.
Nice.
Their cinnamon
yeah,
death. It should be
Cinnadot.
called cinnamon death. Yeah, it's oh god, what's it called? The cinnamon
They call them the Cinnadots. Like,
yeah, dots
it's
my
like-
rear end. Yeah, they're not dots. They're like
They're
like,
amazing.
oh my god, we got those and we're like $3-4 whatever. It's going to be this little thing, and it's like this ridiculously big
Massive.
thing. We brought it home. We froze it. Like we ate as much as we could. We brought it home. We froze it. We were like breaking one out every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only eat like 3 before I start feeling
Yeah.
a little.
Things
So,
rough.
Chris,
That's
are you
really
going to
funny.
try and find another third location since the gym has closed and you're not going to be at Delco Plaza anymore?
Are we still
Yeah.
recording?
No. Well, hang on. Let me turn that off so I don't commit Chris to something he can't.